Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're talking about everybody's favorite roller coaster ride, Workhorse. So, whoever doesn't know, Ark Invest, who's been a huge buyer of Workhorse over the past couple months, sold off around 11 million shares yesterday. And it really got a lot of people worried because Ark has been buying consistently every day, buying and buying and buying. And now they've sold off 11 million shares. Today, it turns out that they actually bought back some more, but let's talk about why I am not worried about that. And also, let's talk about a catalyst that everyone seems to have forgotten about Workhorse. So, first, let's look at the charts. As you can see, like I said, the roller coaster ride looks like Six Flags out here. So, way back when we were at like $1.06 steady. Then we had the first pop up to about $22. Then we consolidated a little bit. Then we ran up to 30. Then we had a huge descent back down to the 17 or 18s, which was around the same as this consolidation period. Then we came up again, another pop to 29 or so. Then we came back down to about 21. And this is where we saw the catalyst for the Pride. The 6,000 truck orders from Pride. So this became a new level of support. We hovered around that 21 and we popped again recently up to 27 or so, and now we're starting to sell off again. So the ride continues. I really think that Workhorse has actually become so volatile that it's almost not volatile, if that makes any sense. So in other words, like, you'll see a day where they're up 5%, and then they're down 5%, and then they're up 12%, they're down 6%, and people have just become so accustomed to the big swings. In hindsight, it would have been a good idea to play the highs and then buy at the lows down here and then sell when it goes high and then play the dips here. But I've just been keeping my initial position in Workhorse. But alright, so let's look down at the RSI. So middle of the road for the RSI. The MACD is starting to go bearish, but let's talk about ARK. So I'm not worried about ARK selling their $11 million worth of shares. The reason being is that Workhorse consisted of about 2.5% for the ARK ETF, and they don't like to hold that larger percentage in any one stock. So if you remember back when maybe it was a couple months ago, Tesla was actually a large percentage of that fund, and they sold off shares of Tesla. So Tesla obviously is a long-term hold for anybody. So to see ARK selling off Tesla, and no one really batted an eye. Everyone kind of knows it's just portfolio management. You know, they're a big company. It's not like you or I where we have complete control over our money and we can put 90% of our portfolio into one stock. ARK has more people looking at their ETF, and they have their investors and people that they report to. So even if they wanted to, they could not be heavy in one stock. They kind of have to keep everything balanced. So I think this is just a portfolio balance. And also, like I mentioned, they bought back shares today. So you can see that I think they were so they went from like 2.6% of the ETF down to like 1.6 or something along that, and then ARK bought a little bit more today. So I'm not worried at all about the ARK selling of shares. I really think that they're just balancing their portfolio. Also, we got to remember that towards the end of the month, now we're getting close to the end of January, where there might be announced the contract for the USPS. So that's another big catalyst that we have to keep in mind. So if you hold shares, I would hold on, even consider buying more as we start to drop off a little bit. But that's my take on the ARK. headline. Now let's take a look at the website and see exactly this forgotten catalyst that everyone seems to have not noticed. Okay, so now we're on the website. But before we look at this, please guys, take a minute, go down there, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Let me know how the video is. Any help is really appreciated. Really trying to grow the channel, and you guys are all a big part of that. So thank you for taking the time to watch this, and please support me if you feel you want to. Alright, so we're here on the website, workhorse.com, and there's a little heading over here that no one seems to remember or look at, Metron. So for those of you that don't know, Metron is another offering, another major catalyst that people just seem to have forgotten about. So let's see what this says. So your entire fleet in the palm of your hand. It's a proprietary telematic system developed by Workhorse. This multi-platform application allows you to track and monitor the performance of all Workhorse vehicles in your fleet and collect the data you need to optimize route planning and monitor maintenance and fuel costs throughout the life of your vehicles. So basically this is a tool that fleet managers have that give them all the specs and statistics of all of the Workhorse vehicles in the fleet. So to me, this is huge. Look, monitor location. So monitor vehicles in real time to make sure your drivers are following their route. Notifications. Be notified of vehicle warnings to minimize downtime. Performance. Track performance and efficiency to optimize routes. So look at this. I think this is pretty incredible. It's all through the cloud. It can track 500 plus vehicle data points every 10 seconds, so it's always updating. There's an interactive map, optimized delivery routes, last charge, GPS data to the cloud, number of stops, efficiency. This is pretty crazy, isn't it? Look at this. Everyone seems to have forgotten all about this. So, I mean, it doesn't look like this has been rolled out yet. I don't think it is. But this is just another catalyst that Workhorse has. So, and there's a number of other catalysts that people don't even consider. You're gonna remember the horsefly. That's their drone. So, this is just yet another piece of the Workhorse puzzle that people are failing to look at. So if you're interested in this company long term, these are all big catalysts that have to be considered. This Metron, this horsefly, who knows, maybe they go autonomous EV delivery trucks, last mile delivery trucks. They still have the USPS. So my thoughts on Workhorse and how I'm going to play the stock is I'm going to continue to build my position. I'm going to continue to buy on the dips where they drop down, in that $20 range, 21, 19, 17. Anything under 22, I'm going to continue to buy, and I'm going to hold on to those shares until, this is very important, until the USPS announces the contract. So once they announce the contract, I'm going to sell regardless of the outcome, because there's only two things that are going to happen. Either one, people are going to grab their profits and Workhorse is going to drop, at least right off the bat. So I don't really think I take that back. So if they don't get the USPS contract, the shares will drop, yes. If they do get the contract, I think that the stock is going to shoot up. We've seen highs of 30, and that's just on speculation. So once it's actually confirmed, I think that I don't think it's going to be like a Nikola thing, but I think that Workhorse might hit 50. I wouldn't be surprised if we get around 50, and then that's only going to last a very short time, and then it's going to come crashing down because everyone's going to take profits, including me. And at that point, so if they do get the contract or if they don't get the contract, eventually the stock is going to crash. And at that point, I will buy in. So I'll sell off if it goes up. And then if it drops, I'm going to continue to buy. And then if they did get the contract, it goes up. I sell off. It crashes. I buy back in. And at that point, once it crashes, then I'm in for the long term. And I'll slowly build my position through the years. So, sorry if that sounds confusing, but I hope it made sense to everybody. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I respond to everybody's comments. So that's it, guys. Have a great night. See you in the next one.